Math Module 4, Lesson 8. I can relate a fraction of a set to the repeated addition interpretation of fraction multiplication. Make sure everything I do in the video, you do in your workbook. If you need to pause to catch up, do it. If you need to rewind and rewatch because you're still confused, do it. Anything to have success. Good luck. Problem number 1, 2/3 times 6. Well, I know 6 is my total. And based on the fraction, I know I have that many groups. So I'm going to make my tape diagram. So I know I have 3 groups, and I know the total is 6. I need to figure it out for 2 of the 3 groups. So what I know is 3 units is equal to 6. 1 unit is equal to 6/3. 2 units would be the 1 unit, which is 6/3 times 2. So we're going to solve this multiple ways, and then eventually you'll get to choose which one works for you. So if we do this with repeated addition, I would do 6/3 plus 6/3. Well, my denominator is going to stay the same, so 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So this would equal 4. Well, here's another way we can solve it. I can do 2/3 times 6, which is equal to 2/3 times 6/1, because anything divided by 1 is itself. So now 2 times 6, numerator times numerator is 12. Denominator times denominator, 3 times 1 is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So that's the same way we solved before. So here's another way we can solve it. We have 2 times 6/3 equals, well, I can simplify before I get to my final answer. I know that 3 can go into 6 2 times, so that would make the 3 1. So 2 times 2 is 4/1, which is equal to 4. So each of these 3 ways, repeated addition, multiplying by a fraction over 1, putting my numerators together because I know the denominator for the second would be a 1, which doesn't change anything. So 3 different ways to all find the final answer of 2/3 of 6 is equal to 4. Make sure you filled in the blank above. Problem number 2, 3/5 times 10. Well, if I draw my tape diagram, I know that this is my total, this is my groups. So 5 groups. My total is 10. So I need to know about 3 of the groups. So I know that 5 units is equal to 10. I know that 1 unit would be equal to 10 divided by 5. I know 3 units, because that's what I'm dealing with based on that numerator 3, is equal to 3 times my 1 unit, which would be 10/5. So let's do repeated addition. I know I'm going to do 10/5 plus 10/5 plus 10/5 3 times. Well, I just happen to know my denominator is going to stay the same, so 10 plus 10 plus 10 is 30. Well, what's 30 divided by 5? It's 6. Let's solve this another way. So I have 3/5, because that's what my original fraction, times my whole, which is 10. And I'm going to make that a fraction itself. And it doesn't change if I put it over 1. So now I'm going to do numerator times numerator. 3 times 10, 30. Denominator times denominator. 5 times 1 is 5. So 30 divided by 5 is 6. Hey, same answer. Let's solve it another way. So now I have 3/5 times 10. So I know I can do 3 times 10 over 5. Well, before I solve, I can actually simplify. I know 5 can go into 10 2 times, which simplifies that down to 1. Because I'm dividing by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So 3 times 2 is 6 over 1, which is equal to 6. So 3/5 is equal to 6. So 3/5 times 10 is 6. Make sure you showed all your work. Problem number 3, 7/6 times 24. Well, I know I need to do 7/6 times 24. Well, let's think about this. I know I could do repeated addition and do 7/6 plus 7/6 24 times, but that doesn't seem time efficient. So I know I could do 7/6 times 24 over 1, because 24 over 1 doesn't change the value of 24. So 7 times 24, well, I've got to do some multiplication. Over to the side. 7 times 4 is 28, carry the 2. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16, so 168 as my numerator. Now I'm going to multiply my denominator. 6 times 1 is 6. Well, I need to get that into a mixed number. So now I'm going to divide 168 divided by 6. 1 divided by 6, or how many 6's fit into 1? Can't do it. 16 divided by 6, or how many 6's fit into 16? 2. 2 times 6 is 12. 16 minus 12 is 4. Bring down the 8. 48 divided by 6, or how many 6's fit into 48? That is 8. 8 times 6 is 48. 0, 0, 0. Love it. So 168 divided by 6 is equal to 28. Another way we can solve it. So we always start with what we know. We have 7/6 times 24. Well, I can rewrite this as 7 times 24, my numerator, over 6, because 24 over 1 is 1, so 6 times 1 is 6, so I'm not changing my value by getting rid of that 1 in the denominator. Well, I can simplify before I even start multiplying. So I know that 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 24 divided by 6 is 4. So 7 times 4 is 28 over 1, which is 28. So we know 7/6 times 24 is 28. Make sure you showed all your work. Problem number 4. 2/3 of an hour is equal to blank minutes. Well, here's the kicker. I have to go from hours to minutes. So I actually have to know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So I need 2/3 times an hour, which is 60 minutes. Well, what would that be? So I'm going to write this as 2/3 times 60 over 1, which doesn't change the value of 60 because 60 divided by 1 is still 60. So 2 times 6 is 120. 3 times 1 is 3. So 120 divided by 3, or 12 divided by 3 is 4, and don't forget the 0. Well, let's solve it another way. So I could have 2/3 times 60. So I would go 2 times 60 in my numerator and 3 in my denominator, because 3 times 1 is still 3. Well, I can simplify before I get any farther. 60 divided by 3 is 20, because 6 divided by 3 is 2, and don't forget the 0. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So 2 times 20 is 40 over 1, which is equal to 40. So 2/3 of an hour is equal to 40 minutes. Make sure you showed all your work.